The Justice Department says it's investigating Live Nation, which is Ticketmaster's parent company, after all the chaos fans experienced when trying to buy these Taylor Swift concert tickets. The DOJ is specifically looking at alleged antitrust concerns surrounding Live Nation. Our next guest is one of several state attorneys general assisting with the investigation. Ticketmaster has canceled the general public sale of the Taylor Swift era tour tickets, citing high demand and insufficient inventory. Jonathan Skrmetti is the Tennessee AG. AG, welcome. Thanks for coming on National Report. I know Tennessee, Nevada, and Pennsylvania are looking into what happened with Ticketmaster. Can you give us an update on the initial findings of your investigation?
Sure, Emma, and thank you for having me. So we're taking an initial look at this. We've gotten a number of complaints, and people are pretty worked up about it. We're starting to look at just the really basic stuff about what representations were made by the company and where the company failed to follow through on those representations. We're also looking at the market situation and trying to figure out what competition is out there, what market share Ticketmaster has, and exactly how that's impacted the quality of services that they're delivering, as well as the price.
So it sounds like you've got some people reaching out to your office. You know it's bad when you've got Swifties reaching out to the AG's office saying, I cannot get a ticket. Can you tell me what people were experiencing as they were trying to support maybe one of their favorite artists?
Sure. So our understanding from a number of very animated complainants is there was an elaborate process to get a verified fan number that would give people not a guarantee, but an opportunity to buy one of these early release preferred tickets. And so there are a lot of Taylor Swift fans out there. A lot of people jumped through hoops for hours to get this number, got in the queue, and the site melted down. There were people who talked about being kicked off, people who had tickets in the cart that would disappear. Just the kind of basic technical problems that we all encounter from time to time with computers. But the issue here is there were promises made that this was going to be a streamlined, fan-oriented operation. We're not sure what the basis for those promises was and what the company did to prepare for what they had to know was going to be a very, very aggressive buying effort by fans. Mm-hmm. And, you know, this is a repeat player. Ticketmaster is under a consent decree. There have been problems going back years. We've heard from fans of other bands and performers. The BTS fans, the K-pop band, are very worked up about Ticketmaster. Harry Styles fans. So it's an ongoing problem. And it's not the biggest case in the world. I mean, we understand there are other important things out there to look at. But when businesses make promises to customers, it's the job of the state attorneys general to make sure they follow through.
You want to hold them accountable. I get that. And also, if you look at the resale values, I mean, those prices are outrageous for fans who weren't able to go through Ticketmaster. Yeah. You know, this is drawing backlash from fans, I guess, across the political aisle. We've heard from Democratic Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez tweeting this. She said, daily reminder that Ticketmaster is a monopoly. Its merger with Live Nation should never have been approved, and they need to be reined in. Break them up. AG, what do you think about this call from the Congresswoman?
So first of all, I think it's sometimes a little scary when you agree with people you don't expect to agree with. And second, I think antitrust is a very fact-intensive area. I'm not saying the companies shouldn't be broken up, but there's a lot of work that needs to go in to develop that, if that is the case. And it may well not be the case. This may well be something that's resolved through other means. But it's got to be resolved. This is a problem that's been making people's lives difficult for a long time. And, you know, maybe in the past there was more of a reflexive, whatever businesses do is okay attitude from the Republican Party. But we recognize, you know, consumers need to be treated fairly. Companies shouldn't be able to abuse their customers just because there's no competition in the market. And I think it's a bipartisan concern, certainly among the attorneys general. Everybody wants to be sure their people are taken care of. Everybody wants to be sure their people are treated fairly. And if there's a company out there that is lying to people, that's not coming through with the promises it makes, or that's abusing its market dominance, then there has to be accountability. I think we can all agree on that.
Absolutely. Can we end on this? Just your advice to folks and fans who are desperately trying to get a ticket and can't do so right now?
Well, it's hard. I mean, there aren't enough tickets. There's huge demand out there, and there are going to be people who don't get tickets. And I know there are a lot of parents out there with children who are very disappointed, and they were hoping to be able to give the tickets to their kids. At the end of the day, it's a bummer to miss a concert. It's not the end of the world. Everybody just wants a fair chance. And I think if people had a fair chance, we're all able to deal with adversity in our lives. But if there's somebody responsible for stripping us of an opportunity that we should have to at least have that fair chance, there's got to be accountability.
All right. We'll check in with you because I want an update on this story. I know we got a lot of Swift fans out there. Tennessee AG Jonathan Skrmetti, thank you, sir, for joining us today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's just interesting to hear that chat because I wanted to share. I was going through some of the news stories on what you're talking about with the AG there. And one woman told Insider that she lost $9,000 to try to buy Taylor Swift tickets.
For a resale option?
Yeah, so here's what happened. She told Insider, that's the source, and screenshotted by the way all her bank statements. She went on one of the third-party sites, right? I think it was SeatGeek, something like that. And she purchased her ticket, but then it didn't go through. She didn't get the ticket, so she repurchased them. And then it says it didn't work. You're on the internet and it doesn't go through, so you hit purchase again, and she did it again. There were for $680 times however much, up to $9,000. She did not get the tickets. She got charged up to $9,000 on her account. She's broke. And then she got all the overdraft fees, has nothing left in her bank account. So the story really isn't about Taylor Swift. That's what I wanted to point out. Yes, obviously people want to get the tickets like the AG was saying, and that's a whole different thing. But they're literally doing anything they can to get these tickets, and you're coming up broke without the tickets. The lady I'm speaking about reportedly spoke with her bank. They waived the overdraft fees. SeatGeek says, don't worry, because you didn't get the tickets, all that should be refunded. It's going to take time, but you've been there before when you purchase something and the fees come out of your account. You got to still wait there until they put the money back in. They'll take your money like that, but to get it back in, it'll take 3 to 5 business days. And she has no money.
That's terrible.
And no tickets.
People are wondering, is Taylor Swift saying anything about this? All these people are trying to come see her, and they're struggling to do so, and in some cases, overdrafting.
Yep.
She responded on Friday in an Instagram story. She says, it goes without saying, I'm extremely protective of my fans. Very difficult when an outside entity with these relationships and loyalties. Excruciating for me to just watch mistakes happen with no recourse. She's saying there are a number of reasons as to why so many people had such a hard time getting tickets, and she's trying to figure out how the situation can be improved moving forward. She's not going to make any excuses.
Not looking good for Ticketmaster right now.
Yeah, definitely not. We'll watch it, though. We'll see what happens next.